The Chicago Bears walked off the field after their crushing loss to the Minnesota Vikings, and it felt like a punch to the gut for every fan. The ending was brutal, the kind of defeat that lingers, the kind that makes you question everything. But before we start panicking, before we fall into the same old "here we go again" mentality, we need to step back and take a deep breath. This is a brand new Chicago Bears team, new offensive pieces, a revamped defense, and a coaching staff still shaping its identity. Building chemistry takes time. Week 1 in the NFL has always been called a liar, and for good reason. It never tells the full story of who a team truly is. It's weeks 2, 3, and 4 when teams start revealing their real identity, and for the Bears, that process is still underway. Yes, the loss stings. Yes, there were mistakes. But there are also legitimate reasons to stay optimistic, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Let's start with the standout performer of the game, Dio Odenigbo. The Bears signed him in free agency, and there were plenty of questions surrounding whether he could live up to expectations after a quiet training camp. But on Sunday, Dio silenced all doubts with a dominating performance. He finished with 2 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 1 sack, 2 quarterback hits, and a crucial pass breakup. He constantly disrupted the Vikings' backfield and set the tone defensively. When you have a player like Dio consistently winning one-on-one battles, it forces offenses to adjust, and that's a game-changer. It also takes pressure off other stars like Montez Sweat, who's no longer going to face constant double teams if Dio keeps producing at this level. Another name that deserves recognition, Noah Sewell. With TJ Edwards sidelined, Sewell stepped up and delivered 9 total tackles, flying around the field with energy and confidence. He's not perfect yet, especially in coverage, but he showed exactly why the Bears are excited about his future. Depth at linebacker has been a concern in recent years, but this game proved Chicago has reliable pieces waiting to step up when called upon. Still, not everything was positive. The defense struggled at times against deep routes and allowed a few chunk plays that swung momentum back to Minnesota. Players like Jalen Johnson were missed badly, especially in coverage against explosive wideouts. But overall, 3 sacks, 3 tipped passes, and consistent backfield disruption show this defense is capable of being one of the NFC's most improved units. The frustrating part? For 3 full quarters, the Bears looked like the better team. They moved the ball, controlled the clock, and dominated possession. But when it came to finishing drives, when it came to actually putting points on the board, they came up short. And in the NFL, failing to close out games always comes back to haunt you. The good news? These mistakes are fixable. This team isn't broken, it's unfinished. Now let's address the big topic everyone's talking about, Caleb Williams. The highly anticipated rookie made his regular season debut, and it was a mixed bag. On the opening drive, Caleb looked poised, composed, and completely in sync with Ben Johnson's offensive scheme. He stayed within structure, made smart reads, and capped it off with a perfectly executed touchdown. For that first series, it looked like the Bears' new franchise quarterback had arrived. But then, something changed. As soon as the Vikings' defense adjusted and the pocket collapsed, Caleb reverted to old habits, freelancing, holding the ball too long, and trying to play hero ball. He drifted away from Ben Johnson's design plays and started relying on backyard improvisation. While his athleticism is special, this approach led to broken plays, unnecessary sacks, and wasted drives. This isn't panic time. Caleb's immense talent is obvious, but he needs to trust the system. Ben Johnson's offense is built on timing, rhythm, and precision. When executed correctly, it gets the ball out fast and into the hands of playmakers. Caleb needs to find that balance between creativity and discipline, a challenge many young quarterbacks face. The offensive line didn't exactly make his life easier either. Despite significant off-season investments, the interior line struggled, allowing 4 or more pressures from just 2 Minnesota defensive linemen. Joe Thuney was solid, but Jonah Jackson and Drew Dalman had rough outings, missing assignments and forcing Caleb into constant improvisation. The silver lining? Caleb was sacked only twice. That number could have been far worse if not for his escapability. And when the line gives him time, we've seen glimpses of the accuracy and decision-making that made him the Bears' top pick. Bears fans need to understand, this is part of the process. Rookie quarterbacks rarely come into the league and dominate instantly. There will be growing pains, mistakes, and moments of frustration. But as long as Caleb learns from these experiences and builds chemistry with his receivers, this offense will come together sooner rather than later. Before we move forward, if you're a die-hard Chicago Bears fan and want daily updates, in-depth analysis, and breaking news, make sure you subscribe to the channel right now. We're building the biggest Bears community on YouTube, and you won't want to miss it. Hit the bell icon so you're always first to know when new videos drop. Alright, let's get back to it. Now, the Bears face a massive challenge, the Detroit Lions. This isn't just another game, it's a statement opportunity. After a heartbreaking loss to Minnesota, the Bears need to bounce back and prove they belong in the NFC North conversation. The Lions come into this matchup confident, but there are cracks in their foundation. They lost key pieces on the offensive line, including their Pro Bowl center, and are shuffling players into new roles. Their offensive coordinator is gone, several assistant coaches have departed, and yet Detroit's fanbase believes they'll keep rolling like nothing's changed. The Bears have to take advantage of this. If Dio and Montez Sweat can bring consistent pressure, and if Jalen Johnson returns to help stabilize the secondary, Chicago's defense has the tools to disrupt Jared Goff and force turnovers. Offensively, it comes down to Caleb Williams. This is his chance to make a statement, to show he can rebound from adversity, and lead this team against a division rival. For the Bears to win, Caleb doesn't need to be Superman, he needs to be efficient, smart, and decisive. Trust the system, hit the open receivers, and lean on the run game when needed. This is more than just one game. It's about setting the tone for the season. Winning in Detroit would do more than just improve the record. It would send a message to the rest of the NFL that the Chicago Bears are not the same old team anymore. This loss hurt. No doubt about it. But don't mistake disappointment for doom. The Chicago Bears are in transition, and progress takes time. There are bright spots everywhere, from Dio's breakout performance to Noah Sewell's emergence to Caleb Williams' flashes of brilliance. Mistakes are part of the journey, and every week is another opportunity to grow. With the Detroit Lions up next, the Bears have a chance to turn frustration into fuel and prove they're ready to compete at the highest level. Stay patient, stay optimistic, and most importantly, bear down, Chicago.